Good morning, gentlemen. Today is the 48th segment of Think Before You Speak series with a few stories. The laws of Shemirat, Halashon, and clarity, Lilu Nishmat, the Hafetz Chaim, Zechet Tzadik Lebracha, as well Lilu Nishmat, Luz Aliza Bat Henriette, and our children that passed in the fire, Ruach Hashem Tenichenam Begad Eden. Today's halachot are specifically dedicated and sponsored. Lilu Nishmat, Eli Ben Simcha, Ruach Hashem Tenichenu Began Eden. Amen. These halachot are for the Hatzlacha, the Yeshua, for our Bnei Chabura. And these halachot are specifically dedicated for the Yeshua Gedola and the Hatzlacha Gedola and the Shemirat Me'al Yamin HaShamayim for Chaim Davido ben Chayesar. The title of today's halachot, Change the Subject. Now, let's think about this story. A bunch of guys are coming home from work, and they're all in a carpool. And you know how it is in traffic. Conversation starts brewing just to get past the time. And one guy decides to start going after the boss in a very derogatory, negative way. And he starts bringing up all the things that the boss did wrong to him from the day that he started his job. And he starts ripping into the boss and how cheap he is and how aggressive he is and how he did this and he did that. And you stop him and you say, hey, listen, you know what? Let's not talk negative. Let's talk positive about people. I really would rather stay away from the Lashon Hara. And the guy looks at you and he says, what? Do you know what this guy did to me? And he starts telling you even worse things. And then he says, and by the way, you know, last week, you saw how he embarrassed that guy in the board meeting. And by the way, yesterday, he took away the commission from your friend. And last week, he came into the office and took vacation away from me and 3 other guys for no reason. And he's going on and on and on. So not only by you admonishing him didn't stop him, it actually got him riled up. And now he's speaking even more Lashon Hara than before. So what do you do at that point? You realize that the admonishing is not going anywhere. There's no musar in the world that you're going to tell this guy that's going to stop him from speaking Lashon Hara. Maybe even worse, it's getting him to speak more. So at that point, you switch the subject. Change the subject. Change the channel. Hey, guys, did you see that new coffee machine they brought up in the office today? It's crazy. It was great. Wow, like how did they come up with this stuff? This machine even has a button for flavoring. I mean, right now I can get my coffee French vanilla, hazelnut. We never had that before. Today's coffee was delicious. Wow, I mean, whoever came up with the idea was brilliant. And the way they make machines these days is crazy. I'm expecting them, you know, tomorrow they'll walk into the office with a machine that you press a button and popcorn will pop out. I mean, this is great. And suddenly the conversation goes to a completely different direction. The guy that was speaking doesn't have his back up against the wall to try to defend with more Lashon Hara. And at that point, your mission was done. So let's get this clear. If you're stuck in a group and somebody's really banging out and speaking negatively Lashon Hara about somebody. So the first step is, if it's beneficial to admonish the person and say, listen, don't speak negative. Let's speak positive. I want to stay away from Lashon Hara, then you have to do so. However, if you see that admonishing the person will not prevent them from speaking Lashon Hara, but it won't make matters worse, meaning he won't speak more, he'll stop from what he said. Okay, then if it's not going to make matters worse, then you need to object and you need to say, come on, stop. I don't want to hear it. If they'll stop, then you need to say so. But what happens if admonishing them will only increase their Lashon Hara, like our story, where they put their back up and they start really getting into it? Then already, you should not object. You should not admonish. Because you know that if you're going to go up against this guy, he's going to try to prove himself with 10 more worse stories of Lashon Hara. Then don't object. Don't admonish. Rather, what should you do? If you see that admonishing is not going to get you where but worse, change the subject. Now, I just want to give you a little quick tip I found over the years. Changing the subject works. But sometimes the guy that's in the middle of saying the Lashon Hara, he realizes the subject was changed on him. If it's not a good enough change of subject, if it's a dull topic, then he's going to pull it back to his juicier topic of Lashon Hara and come back another round. So this is what you do. When you change the topic, this is what I personally do all the time. Don't just change it to something dry. Get something of a good topic that's cute, especially if it's funny. Oh my gosh, it works like a charm. Change the topic to a joke or something that you'll get everybody to laugh. And now your subject became more enjoyable than the illicit, prohibited subject of Lashon Hara. And that works all the time. Thank you for listening.